Hello everybody, April 2nd, 2020, total COVID, stay at home, pandemic out there, Corona19 virus, a flu type of virus, and the flu season to add to it all. And as we all know, most targeted people are between the ages of 30 to 60, and so, or elderly people, you know, or people with low immune systems. So how do we deal with rehab and seeing our doctors and doing all that when there is a total COVID, stay at home? Everybody has been advised by their governors and prime ministers to stay at home. Borders have been closed for the first time in 30 years that I remember at all. Borders being closed except for communist, regime in Europe back in the 80s still. You were not allowed to cross some borders without obtaining passports and visas through the corrupt government and the army and the police. So now some people have gotten stuck, alone. Some people have gotten stuck away from their families, and they won't be able to return anytime soon because of that. Border closings all around. I have a few friends who are stranded, in not countries of their own origin, and they want to return home to be with their families, and or at least come, across the border on the other side, maybe to be with their loved ones, and other friends. But they are stuck, for example, in the States or somewhere in Asia or in South America, because all borders are being closed and flights are being cancelled right, left, and center everywhere. So how are we going to deal now as addicts in rehabilitation with with this while we are forced to stay home? Well, here on Denman Island, I get to go once a week and see my family doctor, who dispenses my medication to me. And there's actually, a stop sign at the doorway at the clinic here, at the community clinic. And the receptionist comes up to you and asks, whether you really need to see and talk to the doctor, and whether you don't. And if you don't, then you don't necessarily go in. And it's easy to just pick up your medication and leave right away. Also, what I've been doing everywhere I go outside, when I go outside, for example, when I have to go to the store or see my family doctor, I have not been off the island yet since this whole thing started. See, I always wear one of these and those on my hands. When I go into a store, or any clinic, or a ferry, or ferry terminal, any place that's public where other people might be putting their hands on and breathing on you. And definitely I've learned already to respect the 6 feet, 2 meters apart rule. Everywhere you go now, in stores and everywhere else, you see people at the door only letting in like 3 to 5 people at a time to their stores, or not at all. And there is big plastic glasses in front of the cashiers now, so that they don't have to wear masks. But it's gone pretty serious. So I'm going to be, faced next week for the first time to go rehab during all of this into town, into a nearby city where there is a whole bunch of cases and probably deaths already from the coronavirus in the Comox Valley here. And our Denman Island has still been spared, and I am grateful for that. I don't think we have any cases or any deaths yet, and so I'm kind of scared to go. It's going to be the first time since this thing broke out that I'll be going back to rehab, because I go once a month, and just to leave my urine sample, and sit down, talk with the doctor, and have a consultation and get a new prescription, then go to the pharmacy, which I don't know how the pharmacies will work. I presume that when I get to rehab, there will probably be the receptionist there and the person who takes the urine samples. The doctors will be safe at home, and while we'll just probably get our prescriptions upon arrival and asked to come back next month or 2 months from now, and hopefully the pharmacies will be working, because that's where we need to proceed with our script, to fill them out, and maybe for more than a month this time, maybe for 2 months or so that I can bring my medications back to Denman Island, give them to my family doctor, who guarantees me that he will not abandon me, and I believe him completely. And we are in touch through other means if necessary, than just calling the clinic. So I trust him, and it is very important to trust your doctors at this very vulnerable time. You have to trust your doctors when they tell you you'll be taken care of. Because obviously people who are sick and ill and in recovery and stuff like that are probably now in a very stressful time, and they're losing sleep over it, I bet you, Another thing is this virus attacks people with low immune systems, and everybody in rehab mostly does have low immune systems. These medications, especially prolonged use, I've been on benzodiazepines for over 12 years and on methadose for 5 years now. They lower your immune system, and kind of destroy your central nervous system, They mess around with your diet, with your weight loss and gains, and while we're tapering, our immune system lowers itself even more, because it's more vulnerable to everything, more susceptible to everything, because it's just out there, That's why it's important for us to stay home, away from the viruses and other bacteria, especially in the flu season now. You don't want to catch a flu, which I have gone through, I think, and I feel a lot better now. Of course, I fear it the worst, every time we feel any discomfort or pain nowadays, I bet you we all think we have corona. Well, we don't. And for those who are tapering off now, since you are forced to stay home, you could make yourself as comfortable as possible and try and either kick heroin or kick meth or kick coke or kick those bad habits, and you could try and get into some healthier habits, like a 21-day meditation, abundance meditation, that I have become part of, with a number of people that is out-branching and growing, and over 21 days, I don't know how many people will be involved, but a lot. And that, the more people are involved in meditation type things, the more beneficial it is to everyone, and the more powerful the meditation is, and the outcomes of it all. There's so many things we can do now, So think about it. You could kick some things, you know, with the help of your family, your friends, whoever is around you, and you could taper a little bit off on your own, which is not advised, but you could talk to your doctors about it and use this time to lower your doses on your medications, so that you know, if you're gonna suffer and go through all this crap, might as well do it when you have to be stuck at home. And so I'm just reporting to you. Yesterday was April Fool's, and it was 20 years since my first very good friend died of a heroin overdose. Piotr Adamczewski, Dresiak, rest in peace, brother, Strzała, always. I haven't forgotten you. It's just that I believe that sometimes it's time to let go of mourning and sadness. And yesterday was the first time I didn't celebrate your dying 20 years ago on April Fool's, April 1st, 2000. It is my way of sort of moving on. It's sort of like, dang out, Frizier, you know, rest in peace, brother. Sometimes I choose not to celebrate your birthdays or death dates because it's my way of saying, hey, I'm moving on. I'm not gonna cry today. But I still want to acknowledge it. So for 20 years now, my friends have been dying of heroin overdoses and drug and alcohol related deaths. Peace out, everybody. One love. Never give up. Ancestors are always with us. Warriors, do not give up. Ever. I love you. We got this.